Hi guys, with the Wonder Woman movie coming out, there's a lot of cool products out there, and I was in Walgreens the other day and I saw these makeup brushes with this cute Wonder Woman pouch and matching lipstick. I was with my daughter and I was like, oh, I'll buy that for you under the pretense that I kind of wanted to use it. So I'm going to do a video and do a Wonder Woman cartoon kind of comic book girl look using these brushes and a few colors of paint. And I hope you stay tuned and see how it turns out. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to start by doing some light contouring with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which is what I use for normal contouring every day. And I'm taking kind of the medium shade and the lighter gray contour shade, and I'm just going to contour more dramatically than I normally would, but in the contour of my cheekbones, temples, and then I'm going to contour my nose so that it's a little bit more cartoony. As I was doing this contour, I thought, why does it look so pink? And a couple times you'll notice how pink and purple it looks, and I realized my daughter had used that big brush for a ton of blush. So my contour color, of course, was mixing with pink blush, so I look a little purple. But oh well, when I figured it out, I cleaned out that brush better and tried to go over it a little bit. So I'm also just contouring the crease of my eye, and I'm not being too particular about this. I'm gonna have face paint on, so you're not really gonna notice, but I'm going to carve out the hollows of my cheek just a little bit more and see how it's kind of purpley. Yeah, she put a lot of blush on there, so oops, too late to go over it again, but you're not going to be able to notice. So I also contoured just underneath my lip, and then I'm going to take the light banana shade from the Kat Von D palette and just lighten up and brighten up underneath my eyes and over my cheeks. I didn't put any makeup on today, so I'm just kind of doing this quickly so that I have a little bit of a base for the cartoon face that I'm about to do. Now I'm taking the lipstick from the Wonder Woman collection and putting that on and using the angle brush just to get my Cupid's bow nice and peaked. And this is a really pretty shade. I like it. I think I might wear this some other time. Taking my favorite mascara, and I'm going to go ahead and coat my lashes and do the bottoms as well. Don't forget the bottoms, and I love this mascara. And then I'm going to throw on some false eyelashes as well so that I have a nice dramatic eye. And pinch those together a little bit so they look more like my natural lashes. Now I'm taking some black face paint, water activated face paint, and a round brush, and I'm going to go pretty much right over my eyebrows and just make those nice and thick and black and dramatic, but also very carved out because this is comic book features. And then I'm doing just a little sweep in between the brow and then a straight line down my nose. And then I'm pulling a line around the outside of my nose as well. Now you don't, since this is comic book, you want thick lines, but not overly thick. And you don't want to use like a liner brush because then it's going to be too thin. So you need maybe like a 3 or 4 round to get about the right sized line for this. I am also going to give myself some dramatic cat eye eyeliner with that same round brush, and I'm not switching brushes here. I'm using the same low Cornell brush for all of my line work. And just remember, when you're talking comic book, you can be pretty dramatic, so don't be afraid to go overboard with the eyeliner. Now I'm going to draw a line around my jaw, and I realized that you couldn't really see it looking straight on my face, and that's what you want when you do this because it is comic book. You don't want it to be under your jaw. So I did go back and I thickened it up so that when you're looking straight at me, you can see that comic book line going around my face. Now I'm also just bringing it down onto my neck a little bit, following the kind of the contours and bone structure of my neck and my chest. And then I'm going to thicken up a few of these lines, and I'm going to add some hash marks and some dots so that I have that comic book drawn look. So I'm also going to carve a line down the side of my cheeks to carve out that contour a little bit more, and then I'm going to do hash marks underneath my cheeks as well to continue that drawn comic book look that I'm going for. And you don't have to be too precise with this, just make the lines go in pretty much the same direction, but don't make it too perfect. It should look kind of blurry, comic booky. And then I'm going to outline my lips in black. It really, really makes a difference when you do this. They really pop. And then I'm going to continue these dots underneath one of the lines on my chest in kind of a triangular shape. And now for the crown. I am using a 1/4 inch angle brush, or a 3/4 inch angle brush, I'm sorry, to do this. And for the center part of Wonder Woman's crown, I actually mixed gold and silver. I am doing this more like the traditional character for the crown, and the inside's kind of a silvery gold, and then it's lined with a bright gold, so that's what I decided to do. So I'm just carving out the shape, and then I'm gonna go and fill it in. Nice and metallic, starting to look like Wonder Woman. And then I'm taking this awesome Mayron gold powder, and I'm going to mix a pile of it with water to get a nice, bright, sparkly gold for my outline of the crown. So I'm just carefully carving that gold around the outline. It's nice and shimmery. So doing that on the top and the bottom of my crown. And then I'm going to fade the edges in gold out into my hairline so that it has a little bit more of a finishing point. Now for the star. I start with a dot in the middle just to mark the center of my forehead, and then I pull a line down and then 2 lines out. That helps me realize where the peak should go, and then from there I pull lines out and to the side, 1 line across for the outer 2 peaks of the star, and then I just fill it all in. Once you have that part down, it's a pretty easy guide to doing your star. So filling that in with red, of course. Then I wanted my star to have a few lowlights, so I actually mixed just a little bit of black with my red, and I'm placing that in the corners and bottom of the star where I want it to have a little bit of depth. And then I'm pulling a few dots and lines in white where I want the highlight points of my star so that they really pop. And I'm also putting white into the inside corners of my eye to give myself that real fake cartoony comic booky look that I want. And I'm going to do the highlights on my lips as well. A few highlights in white on the crown, but not too many because the gold's so bright and shiny. I really want that to be the focal point. And then I'm going to outline my star in black as well, which was like the hardest part. I struggled with the star. It looked good at first, and then I feel like I kind of went overboard with it. But anyways, I'm taking some black StarBlends and another one of those cool Wonder Woman makeup brushes I got, and I'm just going to do some shadowing and shading around my crown so it looks a little bit 3D on my forehead, like it's standing out. And then I am going to take a liner brush, which I wish I would have used this for the star. I think it would have looked a little bit better, but oh well. And I'm going to just outline the curves and then the center underneath my crown, because I don't want it to be too cartoony perfect. I just want it to have a little bit more depth. And then I wanted the star to be a little brighter, so I actually took some orange and red and just dabbed it in the center a little bit. And there we go. There's my Wonder Woman look. I hope you guys liked this. This was so much fun for me to paint. And like and subscribe if you want more.